For BWYellowJackets.com, I'm Brendan Gulick with head coach Trey Keeley of the men's lacrosse program as they get ready for the OAC tournament here this week. What a run this team has been on here of late. You start the season 5-0. You lose 2 really close games, and then you win 9 in a row. And you wrap up the regular season at 14-2 with 8 straight wins in the OAC. Before we talk tournament, what do you love about where this team is at right now as they've continued to click?
Yeah, you mentioned kind of the layout of the season with we got 2 losses right there in the middle, which I think is a pivotal part of any team's journey is that middle road and trying to figure out who you are. And I think we found a couple forks and hopefully are heading down the right path. We've definitely learned a lot about ourselves, and we think we've got some young guys that have stepped up a ton. Freshman, a sophomore starting on defense, a sophomore midfielder who had a hat trick on Saturday. So some young guys that are stepping up, some seniors that I think really have led us through that as well. So excited about where we are, and biggest game of the year on Wednesday because it's the next one.
Well, you closed the season with 2 straight road games, so it's almost a little different in that you had your senior day, but the season wasn't over yet, right? A lot of people have their senior day as the last game or the second last game. The way the schedule shook out, you had 2 more road games, so maybe some additional time to make sure you're focused on what's going on. How about this last week in particular? What do you see in your team right now as they went on the road to Mount Union and went on the road to Otterbein that lets you know they're ready to compete for an OAC Championship?
Yeah, two great teams to end the season on the road. I think we had a little bit more home games this year than we had last year, so I think that was a positive, but ending on the road I think is always tough. Mount Union was a great team, great face-off guy, great goalie. They came out strong as well, and so they're always a good test late in the year. And then Otterbein, we were I think tied with them in the conference at that time, and going on the road to play there is always fun. So we're able to stick 4 quarters together and make it happen there. So we just on the road is fun, but I couldn't be happier to welcome John Carroll here and have a home game in Berea tomorrow night.
This is the 2 versus 3 matchup. John Carroll coming to Berea after you went there in the regular season, and the top seed Capital is hosting Ohio Northern. We'll talk about that in a second because that game's actually happening tonight, where your game is happening tomorrow. But let's focus on your game first. Last year, you made it to the OAC Championship game. You went over to University Heights, and you played against a John Carroll team that has been king of the conference the last few years. What's it like this time to have them on your turf?
It'll be nice. Yeah, the last year and a half, it's been us there 3 times. Played 3 times since I've been here, and it's all been across the other side of the city. So excited to have them here. I think the boys are excited about that as well. I know they're a team that's very good late in the year. They've got a lot of young guys as well who've been playing really well for them. So they'll be a tough match. I'm sure will give us everything they got. So, but again, it's us late in the year as well. So we're excited about who we are and where we've come from. And I tell the guys it's got to be every game. We got to be the best Yellow Jacket lacrosse team there ever was.
How do you maybe digest the first game you play against a team, knowing it's the same group of guys that are running out there against each other a second time with something different at stake? Do you put much into the first time you play them, or do you just kind of wipe the slate clean?
Yeah, you got to put something into it. But in our conference across the board, it's really who shows up that day and who takes care of business. So I thought we had a really good game against them the first time we went around. There's obviously some things that we didn't do great. They're going to attack us in some different ways, and I think they found some success against us. So we'll take a little bit of what they think they did well against us, and we'll think about a little bit of the things that they might throw at us, and what they're doing now is a little bit different maybe than what they were doing when we played them. So, and the same is true for us as well. So I think got to take a little bit of stock into it, but I think the biggest thing is that it's a new game and a new opportunity for our guys to go out there and play their best.
So Capital and Ohio Northern are playing tonight. It's 2019. Kids are on their phones looking at live stats, watching video and things. Knowing that you may not be able to totally keep your team away from that game, how do you approach tonight, knowing that they're going to probably at least follow the other semifinal game?
Yeah, they may have one eye on their study book and the other eye on their cell phone with live stream, but they'll definitely keep tabs on it. I mean, the guys are there. We got a bunch of lax rats that are curious about what's going on outside, but the important thing is for us to focus on ourselves, though. So they'll follow along and see who's made it to the championship game, but while knowing full well that it's in our hands to take care of business and do what we need to do and focus on things we have to do. And then obviously a lot of them have finals today or tomorrow or the next day, so they've got that whole other the student athlete side that they're balancing a lot of other things as well. So
All right, the Yellow Jackets are looking for their first ever OAC Championship in the OAC tournament in men's lacrosse. I'm going to write the headline for you. If the Yellow Jackets win, what do you think would have gone really well for you? What strengths do you think are going to come to fruition if you guys are able to win the tournament?
I think our seniors step up and play the best lacrosse they've ever played. I think we really start playing together as a team and moving the ball well and communicating on defense. And our face-off unit comes out really strong. That's another opportunity at redemption for the previous game. So we're getting better a little bit at everything. So I think it's just about competing and getting up and down the field and playing our style of lacrosse. And the most exciting part about the postseason is that we've been together for so long. We know who we are. It's just trying to make sure that we be the best version of ourselves.
Wednesday night, 7 o'clock in Berea, OAC Semifinals. It's John Carroll and BW. Hope you can make it. Good luck.
Thanks, man.